Hello everyone, welcome to the new speed run for this week. It is a ARON. Thank you Keegan Vang for the suggestion. We'll be naming this ARON after you. First little bit of housekeeping. The first thing we had to do was make sure that he had the rock head ability, because otherwise this run was virtually going to be impossible. Having a 4 times weakness to fighting, a 4 times weakness to ground, as you'll see in the rest of this run, is extremely challenging, especially in Kanto, because in the final badge is a ground gym and the Elite Four has a fighting type member, so it was an extremely hard challenge to do, and you'll see the results very shortly. As you can see, the fight with Brock actually goes pretty well. We just basically mud slap Onyx and Geodude into submission as much as we can, and then they can't really hit us from there. And we learned Headbutt pretty early on too. If we'd actually leveled up one more level to level 13, we would have had Metal Claw, which would have been really handy, but still having Mud Slap made such a difference just in the fact that they couldn't touch us. So we actually got off to a fairly decent run at the beginning of the game. As you'll see here, we get to level 13 and we get Metal Claw. And it's after a total... Oh, we also teach Rock Tomb straight away, so that we've got a decent set of moves. 57 minutes is gone. We work our way through Mount Moon, no dramas at all. We fight the rival straight away to try and get some experience. I'm going to leave Misty for a fair while and go and do the rest of the SSN stuff as well, because Misty is a water type and Starmie has Water Pulse, which is quite a decent move, especially with the confusion side of it. So we lose the first battle to the rival and then lose the second battle to the rival as well, which was quite frustrating. As you can see, we're not really in any good stead straight away, but we managed to win the third one. Third time's a charm. And as you can see, I'm going to give Misty a quick go here, but we are nowhere near ready to take her on at level 25. We're still slower and we can't hit hard enough, which makes life extremely difficult. As you can see, Staryu, just with his Water Pulse, does half our health, and Starmie easily finishes it off. So we battle literally every single trainer, and that's one thing in this run that you guys won't see, but there are times in this run where I have to go around and fight every single trainer to get as much experience as I can, because ARON is actually a slow leveling up Pokemon. So we beat the whole SSN, we get 6 levels higher and come back, and we still lose. We try again. And we still lose. So this is basically a quick run through of how many times we actually have to try and give it a go. As you can see, we're kind of leveling up as we go against each Staryu, but I got no one else to fight, and the only other thing I could do would be to fight wild Pokemon, but that's just not worth our time. So we finally beat Misty after about 5 or 6 attempts, and I actually make the mistake this time of taking on Surge not at full health. Even though we were missing, I think it was about 5 or 6 HP, it still made all the difference, and we ended up losing the first one. I tried to heal him up, Shockwave was just doing too much. Our special defense is not really that good. Our main stat is our defense and our attack, and we have a mild nature, so that actually helps our special attack, which is really not good to us at all. I caught a couple of Meowths to try and get some rare candies along the way, because I forgot that they had the pickup ability. So I might do that in some runs from now going forward, but we'll see how we go. So after about 5.5 hours, we're at Erica. We're already well behind, as you guys can already tell. But we do pick up Aerial Ace at the spot just before the rock tunnel, and it's actually a really handy move that we hang on to for the rest of the game. It helps us get rid of grass-type Pokemon relatively swiftly. It helps us hit ghost-type Pokemon if needed. It also helps against fighting types. So I'm going to hang on to it for the rest of the game. Right, we're at Giovanni, and we take him on at level 44. So we actually quite highly leveled for this part of the game. And for a nice change, we learn Double Edge too. So that's a great move to have. 120 base power attack with full accuracy, 100% accuracy, which is just elite. We take on our rival in the Lavender Tower, and yeah, being 20 levels higher is quite the advantage, so we basically destroy his whole team, which is nice. But as you guys will see later on in the run, it's not the case. We get through that, we try and throw Koga off his game. But we actually do pretty well because he can't poison us because we're part steel. So that takes out the majority of his game plan, and he just tries to lower our accuracy the whole time. Having Aerial Ace also helps because we can hit his Pokemon no matter what. One-shotting Muck was amazing. And then, yeah, just Aerial Acing our way through the rest of Koga's team and double-edging. Big fat boy Wheezing. If you want to see a Wheezing or a Muck run, let me know. I'm actually kind of keen on doing one of those, which should be good. So that might be something that I'll consider doing in the future, or one that I might do just for myself. Because I think the Muck or Wheezing would be a fun run to do. Anyways, we move on to the rival battle, and Feather Dance is the worst possible thing for Pidgeot to use against us because our attack is just absolutely destroyed. So we come back and one-shot Pidgeot this time, and we actually get a little bit of luck here because Blastoise still doesn't have Hydro Pump yet, even though, although he's level 40, so yeah, he doesn't have it for a little bit longer, but once he gets Hydro Pump, it's a different story. We get rid of the rival, we pick up Lapras for Surf and Strength, and then we move on to Giovanni, and we do okay, and this is where Giovanni obviously goes away and trains and gets a lot better than us because he gets all of his ground-type Pokemon together, and you'll see how much strain and effort goes into the final gym. It's one of the worst. It's the worst. This is the worst run I've done so far. If you guys are this far into the video, congratulations. Behind the scenes, this probably took me longer than any other video, despite the in-game time being longer than anything else, but it was just the sheer grinding, especially of the Pokemon, ARON being a slow level up Pokemon. It was horrible. It just took forever to level up. I mean, any other Pokemon right now would probably be level 60, 65 plus, but man, ARON's real hard to level up. We take care of Sabrina, obviously really easy, and we move straight on to Blaine. We actually have a little bit of troubles with Blaine because, again, our special defense is really nothing to sneeze at. It's not good. It's really not good. And the Fire Blasts from Rapidash do a fair chunk. So therefore, our chances against Arcanine are not really good at all. As you can see, he actually beats us on quite a few occasions, which is quite frustrating. And yeah, it really doesn't bode well for the rest of the run. I'm sort of thinking here at this point, like, oh my god, we're level 62, which is sort of around par for where I'm normally at level-wise. But man, he's destroying us, and he's destroying us pretty well. But we, after a few losses, we come back, and we actually, I think he misses a Fire Blast. So we've had half health from Rapidash, and he missed, and then this is where the real grind begins because the ground type, as you'll see here, Dugtrio almost one-shots us at level 64, and then Nidoqueen finishes us off. We come back at 65, and it's literally no different. Dugtrio just does the damage, and Nidoqueen picks the bones, and this continues for hours. As you can see, I've done 2 hours of training to get to level 74. I haven't used any rare candies. I went around and fought every single gym member, every single trainer, sorry, and gym member around the map, and leveled up to level 74, and we still are getting annihilated. Now this vision is quite quick, but it's sped up so that you guys can see the grind that I'm actually putting in, and this is where we actually get a bit of luck. We finally beat him at level 75 after we've hung on with 3 HP. I genuinely screamed at the top of my lungs once we finally beat him. And I was going to use Earthquake on ARON, but I decided to hold off for the Elite Four. I wanted to see how I was going to fare. There's no one in the Elite Four that Earthquake is really going to work on except for Arbok and maybe Rhydon. That's it. They're the only 2 Pokemon that it's super effective, and the 2 Onyxes as well. But I've got Iron Tail, which is Stab, whereas Earthquake isn't, so I'm not going to get that extra boost to the attack. So we're level 85, and you can see that we do a bit of damage, but we just don't do enough. We get to Bruno full of health at level 85, and then you'll see the problem we've also got here is that both Onyxes have Earthquake, which is 4 times super effective, and the rest of his Pokemon are fighting type, and Machamp one-shots us. So I'm seriously, you guys, this is all cut short so you guys can all see it quickly, but I trained for so long to get to level 91. Even using speed up in the emulator, it took me about an hour and a half to train 6 levels. Like, it was disgusting. This was worse than the Squirtle and the Dunsparce run. Just being weak to the first one and the second one was just awful. So as you'll see here, we actually have a fairly decent run with Blaine. Blaine was probably the only one I wasn't worried about because we had Rock Slide, which was super effective against 3 of his 5 Pokemon. And we could just, like, double edge his Dragonairs, which really weren't a drama at all. And being resistant to Dragon is also helpful as well. So I had 3 rare candies left, bumped up to level 95, which is our highest Pokemon required to beat the game so far. We take care of Rhydon. We get a Rock Slide on Blastoise. He actually goes for Rain Dance, which is pretty dumb. And we kill him, which was great. It was a real concern of mine that he was going to use Hydro Pump and absolutely annihilate us. As you'll see here with Arcanine, we knock him out. We go for Aerial Ace on Exeggutor, and then I heal up because I was too paranoid. I thought, oh, if he crits me, I'm going to lose, and I'm not going all the way back to the start. A Psychic from Alakazam actually drops our special defense, and you won't believe it, we didn't kill him 1 hit. So I was like, oh my god. But luckily we resist Psychic type attacks. We win. We are level 95, and we beat the Elite Four. Just wait till you guys see the time that it took to beat this game with a single ARON. Here's our Elite Four Hall of Famer, and it took 14 hours and 24 minutes. That is almost 3 hours longer than what it took previously. Peace! Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment of a Pokemon you want to see me do in a speed run. Hopefully you enjoyed. This was brutal. This was really one that I enjoyed early on and then really found out that I wasn't enjoying it at the end. The grind session was brutal. I mean, I got to watch a lot of YouTube videos and chill out, which was nice, but hey. So, I don't have any suggestions this week, so I'm going to go for one of my own. I'm going to go through some typings that I haven't done yet. I have not done a grass type. So, I'm going to go, and I haven't done many Gen 3. I've only done Sharpedo. So, I'm going to go with a Shroomish / Breloom, and we're going to see if we can break the record. I don't know how we're going to go, but I feel like a grass fighting type's kind of a nice combo. If you guys want to see me do any suggestions of yours, please leave me a comment. I'll really appreciate that, and I'll make sure that I get them. I've done every single one so far, so we'll see how we go. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next week. The Breloom. Peace!